Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. This is Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. Before we do anything else, if you haven't done so yet, please go down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button. Greatly appreciate that. I'd like to thank everyone who has watched over the past couple of months. I'd like to thank you very much. Don't think that doesn't go unappreciated. It does. Thank you so much for watching. And tell your friends about it too. A little shorter show today. I hope everybody enjoyed the long holiday weekend. I had a little 2-day hiatus. Been doing a lot of driving the last few days. Been on the road a lot. Traffic wasn't too bad today. And hope everybody had a good time. Stayed safe. Got a little noisy at night, but I hope the dogs weren't too put out about it. But it's over. We can now, I think, beginning tomorrow, have a return to normalcy. Somewhat, anyway. It's going to start heating up again. So, anyway, it's over. Hope you had a good time. Hope everybody came out of this safe. No problem. And for a lot of people tomorrow, it's back to work. So, hey, it's over. But we got another one coming up in the not too distant future with the Labor Day weekend. So, once again, a belated happy 4th of July to everybody, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. So it's a little bit shorter show today because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty well worn out from the weekend. Cut it down to about 15 minutes. We're going to end the show today with a feature from A to Z Sports. It is a predicting what each team in the NFC North will do this year and their records. Tell you how things shape up for the NFC North. That's coming up a little bit. Anyway, so let's get this out of the way here first. Timeout Overtime is sponsored in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. If it's time for a new-to-you vehicle, let the sales professionals at Beck's help you choose the right vehicle. New or pre-owned, Beck's has the top selection in the tri-state area with over 200 vehicles in stock. Stop by and see for yourself, but when you're ready, ask for Russ McMorty, Chris Hodis, Danny Smith, Adam Schaefer, Blake Bryant, Cameron Mincio, Bob Flynn, and Peyton Lucas. And when it comes time to service that new-to-you vehicle, the service pros at Beck's can fix it. Any make, any model, foreign or domestic, Beck's can fix it. And if you have a bit of a crunch or fender bender, Beck's Body Shop can put it back together looking just as good as new. So for all your automotive needs, look no further than Frank Beck Chevrolet at M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville at 517-849-2886 or on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come and experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet, together, let's drive, baby. Okay. Tigers did something today that they haven't done since the opening series of the season at Chicago. They swept a 3-game series. I can't believe I'm saying this. They just swept the Cincinnati Reds at Great American Ballpark. I noticed one thing in monitoring this series. I didn't watch it or didn't listen to it because I had other things going on, but occasionally I was checking my phone. This little ballpark is much more suited to the Tigers lineup than Comerica Park is. And I think if the Tigers played their home games or half their season games at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, I think they have a better record. Just that simple. That ballpark seems more suitable to the lineup that they have. Much more conducive for them. Anyway, they did it scoring 5 runs a game. They won Friday night, I believe, 5-4. They won yesterday 5-3. They won today 5-1 behind Tarek Skubal. 7 strong innings. He's 10-3 now. He only allowed 1 run on 3 hits. He didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 13. He lowered his ERA to 2.37. So as we speak, the Tigers are 42-48. Again, still solidly entrenched in 4th place in the American League Central. pardon me, 14.5 games behind Cleveland. And I think they're about nine and a half. I'm sorry, not 9.5, 5.5 out of that final wild card spot. But again, you have to wonder. They come home now for 7 games. It's a 7-game homestand just prior to the All-Star game, which is a week from Tuesday. They've got 4 with Cleveland and 3 with the Dodgers at Comerica Park. As a Skubal is 10-3, he makes his next start, that final start prior to the All-Star game, Friday night against the Dodgers would be it. And they were talking about it today. Apparently, I did have Dan on the radio while driving home. They know what I guess they know what the lineups are going to be right now, the starting lineups for the All-Star teams. But they rested the squad. The fill-ins have not been named yet. I think they will be coming out tonight, in the very near future, either tonight or tomorrow. Should Riley Green be on the team? He probably should be. Tarek Skubal will be. What surprised me to see Tarek Skubal start this game. But again, I've asked this question of you folks before. How many more starts does he have left with the Tigers with the trade deadline approaching? I think it is 3 weeks from Wednesday. It is 3 weeks from Wednesday. You got to wonder how many more starts does he have with the Tigers? Will they trade him? I think they will. You know why? You're asking me why? If you ask Scott, Harris, he tells you because they're not ready to win yet. And who knows when they will be? Okay. Scott Harris telling you or telling someone in an interview that they're not ready to win. In other words, we're not interested in winning yet. We don't have the capability of winning. That's pretty much what they're saying. How does that sit with the fan base? You want to hear that? You want to hear him say that? Huh? I don't. You like what the Pistons did? They just signed the Italian import, Simone Fontecchio, an Italian fella. He's been with them before, 2 years, $16 million. Look, I like all the signings they made up to this point. Hardaway, well, they got Hardaway to trade. Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, who's probably, if you look at the roster right now, is probably their best shooter. What Trajan Langdon has done here, folks, that he's bringing in veterans. I think the team, if anything, this year will be better defensively. Why? Because you have a mixture more of veterans on the team. Look, veterans are just going to play better defense. Young kids, one or 2 year rookies or 2 year guys running around on the floor out of position, bad spacing, running around on the floor like a chicken with their head cut off. That's been part of the problem with this defense. Now you've got 3 or 4 seasoned veterans who could provide leadership, especially when it comes to defense. And as I said, I think Malik Beasley's probably their better shooter. He's I was looking at his numbers today. Or what is he, 42 or 43% from the 3-point line? No, look, will they win more than 14 games this year? I think they will. Will they make the playoffs? Of course not. Can they win 25? I think they have a shot at 25. Yeah, I really do. So I'm thinking they'll be at least 9 or 10 games better than they were last year. You get to 25 this year, then next year you get to 30-something, high 30s. Maybe then you're flirting with a play-in game. I don't know. I'm not predicting next year they'll make the playoffs, but who knows what they're going to do between now and then anyway. But so far, I like what Trajan Langdon is doing. Yeah, I got a good feeling about the Pistons after seeing what he's done so far. Let's put in a good word here for a good man who helped me get this whole thing set up, and then we'll get to this preview look at the NFC North. I'm talking about Tim Lindley at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, 37 Waldron Street, a couple hundred feet west of Howells. For all your technical needs and services, Tim Lindley and his assistant Zach are the people you want to see. These guys are the best anywhere around our area. As I've said many times before, whether it be computers, new or used, if the computer you have now needs a little tweaking, take it in there, they'll take care of that for you. Tim's got an exclusive shop like nobody has ever had back there before. He is very well organized back there, and rest assured, if you take something in there, he's gonna make it right. Very good. This guy knows what he's doing. Computers, new or used, like I said, flat screen, maybe you bought a smart flat screen TV, you need that mounted, programmed to set up. Tim will take care of that for you. Maybe you're changing internet providers. I know when I did, I certainly couldn't. I didn't know what to do. Tim had to come in here and set the whole thing up for me. He did a very good job at it. Printers, new or used, anything. Any technical needs or services at all. These are the people you want to see. Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale at 37 Waldron Street. 517-610-5372. Or better still, get in there and see Tim and Zach. And when you do, tell him Rick sent you and he said hi. Right, Miggy? Tell him Miggy sent you too, will you? Okay. This comes to us courtesy of A to Z Sports. And it's a look at predicting what each team in the NFC North is going to do this season, predicting their records, where they'll finish, and a little summary of what they think, how they pardon me, how they think these teams are going to fare this year. Again, I said this comes to us courtesy of Mike Payton at A to Z Sports. I ran across this the other day, and it was so good I wanted to share with you folks. So did Mickey. So ranking them 1 through 4, he's got the Lions coming in at 13-4, winning the division. And as he writes, this should come as no surprise. The Lions were one of the best teams in the NFL last year and won the division en route to a trip to the NFC Championship. They were a bad second half away from their first ever Super Bowl appearance. Since then, they've drastically improved their secondary with a brand new quarterback room featuring Carlton Davis III, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, and Amik Robertson. The Lions had trouble in the secondary last season, but still managed to rank 13 in defensive DVOA. If they're able to have improvement, they're expected to have the secondary, much improved secondary. The Lions could very well have a top 10 defense to go along with one of the best offenses in all of football. And I think the best offense in all of football. And as he writes, and I would agree with what he says here, the one concern is that the Lions may not have the best wide receiver depth right now. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown and a bunch of guys that they hope will be good. He's obviously referring to Jameson Williams and Donovan Peoples-Jones and Antoine Green. You got to remember, Donovan Peoples-Jones is still only 26 years old. They brought him back in a one-year deal, but I have a good feeling about him last year. Late in the season, when they targeted him, I thought he's pretty good. I don't remember him drop many balls. He ran good routes. He's got a big body. You know, I've got a good feeling about Donovan Peoples-Jones this year. Anyway, that's what he says about the Lions. He's no surprise. He got the Green Bay Packers coming in second. As I said, he got the Lions at 13-4. He's got the Packers coming in second at 10-7. He writes, Jordan Love showed in 2023 that he could very well be the next great Packers quarterback. He had his first shot at the team's starter, and he knocked it out of the park with Josh Jacobs joining the team, the running back. joining the team and is setting the Packers offense up with a chance to have a solid run game. This young offense might be able to put some things together and make a wild card. The thing that could hurt them is that they do have a middling offensive line, and their receivers, while improving, are still relatively young, and it shows a lot. They do have some young wide receivers there. Still, they have a good enough defense to make up for some of the shortcomings on offense and the inexperience that they have. Again, the prediction for the Packers: second place and 10-7 in the NFC North. Third place shouldn't come as any surprise. He's got the Chicago Bears coming in there with a record of 8-9. He writes, the Bears got the quarterback everyone wanted in the draft with Caleb Williams, and they surrounded him with one hell of a supporting cast for a rookie. I'll say they did. Keenan Allen from the Chargers, Roma Dunze, the draftee out of Washington, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, the tight end, and former Lion DeAndre Swift. That's all very impressive. That offense could put up numbers in due time. On paper, it does look pretty good. You got to admit. The problem is that outside of the linebackers on defense, this is a relatively bad Chicago defense. As he says, outside of the linebackers, they're going to have some trouble stopping teams. There's also a chance that Caleb Williams goes through the rookie growing phase that most quarterbacks go through. There's a lot more Bryce Young. There's a lot more Bryce Youngs than there are C.J. Strouds. And last set, see, Bryce, there are a lot more Bryce Youngs than there are C.J. Stroud. What he's saying is C.J. Stroud was an exception last year, having the rookie season that he did at quarterback. More of them have been like Bryce Young. It's a learning process. But again, as I said, Stroud was exceptional last year. I was shocked at the year that he had for the Texans. Yeah. Anyway, he says the Bears are a team on the rise, and they're going to be hell to deal with once they get that defense built up and continue to strengthen their offense. 2025 is going to be a challenging year for all the other teams in the division. I think he's right. Next year could be the Bears' year to really make some noise. Bringing up the rear at 5-11. I'm sorry, 6-11. I've got something on my phone here, a little speck that was. I couldn't see decipher 6 from a 5, but he's got the Vikings coming in at 6-11 in fourth place. He writes, when you have Justin Jefferson on your team, you're going to get some wins off his back because he's unstoppable. Other than that, the Vikings seem to be nearing a much-needed rebuild. Kirk Cousins is out, and now it's J.J. McCarthy's turn to be the guy. We'll see if he can do it. There's a lot of questions about him based off the way Michigan used him, and I would agree with that. On the defensive side of the ball, losing Danielle Hunter and C.J. Wanham is tough. That's 25 sacks that you have to replace or make up for. Jonathan Greenard and Dallas Turner should be good, but there's going to be a learning curve in that Brian Flores defense. I like Brian Flores, too, as a defensive coordinator. I think he's good. And I don't even think, I've told you this before, I don't even think J.J. McCarthy is going to be starting. The last time I looked, he was, as far as the depth chart went, I think he was listed as the third string quarterback behind Sam Darnold and Nick Mullins. Well, that's where that's at. I think most of the time you see, if you're watching a Viking game this year, most of the time you see J.J. McCarthy, he'll be on the sidelines wearing a headset and a clipboard in his hand. We'll see. I'm sure he'll get a lot of play in preseason, in the 3 preseason games. That's pretty much going to do it. I've had my say for today. As I said, as the weekend comes to an end here, we all go back to work tomorrow. As I said when I opened up, I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday weekend. Won't be that long before we have another one coming up on Labor Day. And if you have Netflix, you'll get to watch Joey Chestnut Kobayashi go at it on Labor Day. So don't forget the Timeout Show every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 here locally on WCSR 92.1 FM and I will be with you again this week only on Wednesday night. So until then, remember, treat each other with respect and have a good evening. So long, everybody.